So have you ever watched a movie or read a book where there's a character that it seems just regular old human, but as the story goes on, you figure out either has superpowers or is part immortal or is something amazing that it isn't what they seem to be at the beginning. I would give examples, but they're almost all spoilers, so I'll leave it to your imagination to put together what movies and stories those might be. But there's a truth to that, actually, about you that we're going to get into in the 5-minute devotional this morning from 1 John chapter 3. And I'm just going to read the whole section we're going through, verses 1 through 10. See how very much our Father loves us, for he calls us his children, and that is what we are. But the people who belong to this world don't recognize that we are God's children because they don't know him. Dear friends, we are already God's children, but he has not yet shown us what we will be like when Christ appears. But we do know that we will be like him, for we will see him as he really is. And all who have this eager expectation will keep themselves pure, just as he is pure. Everyone who sins is breaking God's law, for all sin is contrary to the law of God. And you know that Jesus came to take away our sins, and there is no sin in him. Anyone who continues to live in him will not sin. But anyone who keeps on sinning does not know him or understand who he is. Dear children, don't let anyone deceive you about this. When people do what is right, it shows that they are righteous, even as Christ is righteous. But when people keep on sinning, it shows that they belong to the devil, who has been sinning since the beginning. But the Son of God came to destroy the works of the devil. Those who have been born into God's family do not make a practice of sinning, because God's life is in them. So they can't keep on sinning, because they are children of God. So now we can tell who are children of God and who are children of the devil. Anyone who does not live righteously and does not love other believers does not belong to God. So these first verses are some of my favorites. Okay, I have a lot of favorite scriptures, but see how much the Father loves us, that he calls us his children. But wait, he doesn't just call us his children, we actually are. And the world doesn't recognize us. That's being saying, like, we have an identity. We have a reality about ourselves that's hidden. We look like ordinary people, right? And we feel like ordinary people. But he says that when Jesus appears, that there will be something that will appear out of us that we do not know, that we will be like him, for we will see him as he is. In the revealing of Jesus, there's something about the work that he's done in us of transformation that will be revealed. And it'll be like those characters I talked about earlier that either have powers or are really glorious or actually are immortal. Guess what, you guys? Through Jesus' death and resurrection, you actually basically are immortal. So, how cool is that? So, we have this hidden superness, immortality, wonderfulness that Jesus has made into and out of us, and it is hidden and is yet to be revealed. And he says, if you only knew how wonderful this thing is, then you wouldn't sin. You wouldn't take this amazing thing and roll it in dirt. He's answering in a different way than Paul does in other places the question of why, if God just forgives me, why don't I just keep sinning? And John's answer is because it's not in your nature. It's not who Jesus made you to be. It's not who you're going to become. So yeah, we mess up, but we don't keep intentionally going in that direction because that's not who we are. And he says in the beginning of the book, yeah, everybody messes up. That's what Jesus died for. Ask for his forgiveness, and it's over. But we want to be living and realizing who we're made to be and live into that. And that's what he's calling us out to. Realizing who Jesus is, how wonderful he is, but also realizing, oh, he has made us his children. And that's huge. And that's what we're going to become in him is glorious, and live according to that and realize the value of that.